What's good, guys? I don't know what the hell that was, but hello everyone, welcome back to the vlogs. Behind me is the 8.6. We are in the garage and we are back to using the Sony, the big, beautiful, nice Sony camera. But yes, guys, welcome back to the vlogs. We have my car behind me and we're gonna be doing some installs today. From that last video that you guys saw of me, you know, adding the miscellaneous parts that I got from Japan, I have some stuff that I still need to install on the car, so we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Now, as much as I wish we were doing an engine modification to make this car faster, yeah, we can't be doing that, especially with what happened to me lately with this car. Don't worry, it's getting settled right now. Even though we're working in the engine bay, it's not gonna be having to do anything with performance, unfortunately. But it's gonna do with something with efficiency and also making it easier for this car to work on. Ew, what is all this goop? Here we have the hood struts. How did they put this in there? There you go. Now, if you happen to have one of these and you've been waiting to install it like myself, you could go ahead and follow along with me in this video. So, you know, we both can mess up while installing. I'm kidding. Well, hopefully not. Our hood struts right here, these go on each side of the hood, you feel me? And then what we have here are brackets that need to be installed, so these have a place to mount on. The only tool that I believe we need is like a 12mm socket or a wrench. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So installation should be fairly simple. So the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and unscrew this and mount the first bracket. After unscrewing it, this is the bracket you're gonna look for. Luckily, this one already has a label on it, so L for left side. You have a 3M tip here. This is where the screw goes through, and you pretty much put it right there. That's one of them. Now we have to do the other bracket, which is down here. The next side is gonna be that screw right there. And point at it with that one with my pinky. So this is going to be the bracket that we're putting there. Luckily, this also has a label for the left side. All we're pretty much going to do is screw it back in just like that with the screw in place. This is exactly where the bolt is and where I put the bracket. Right there, right under this arm, inside the fender, and then there. So now that the brackets are mounted, we're gonna go ahead and slap this guy on. We're gonna make sure that the carbon fiber side is upwards, so make it face upright. And pretty much all it does is just snap in place. If your hood has the hood strut placed up already, go ahead and remove it so that you could move the hood up and down, because this actually pushes the hood way further back. That should do it. Oh. Hey. But yeah, not only is it easier to open the hood up and down, but I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but it actually opens up the hood way more now. So if you do work on your car and, you know, do your shit in here, you have a lot more room to work with, which is pretty neat. Like every 8.6 owner needs to have something like this in their car. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for the Christmas exchange gift. Moment of truth. See if this works. Look at that! There's actually so much room to work on the car if I need to. Sorry if you guys hear any noise. Someone's doing laundry right now. Just bear with me. This is the distance, right? This much room is now added now that we have this strut. There it is. You no longer need this guy because now we have fully automatic strut. Really good. But hopefully one day when I have cool enough stuff in the engine bay, that's going to be useful for me to pop open the hood. For now, this thing stays closed because it's stock. My girlfriend just came back from studying. I want to show you something. Can I show you something?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
No. I want you to stand right here by the hood. Stand by the hood.
By the hood?
Yes. Don't be scared. She's not gonna notice.
I can't tell. Oh. Wait! How you do that?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna expect you to notice, but you actually noticed.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so this is what Brian gave me for Secret Santa. And they're automatic hood struts. Or, well, not really automatic, but they're just hood strut dampers. So you could open and close the hood as is. See? Opens up automatically. No need to put, you know, the strut to keep the hood up. What do you think?
I see, I noticed.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool.
Right? Well, since I'm not going to install anything else for the rest of the night, let's go ahead and talk about the current state of the car. The last video, I revealed to you guys the new TE37s that I have for the car. And honestly, I am in love with the car. Way more in love with it now than I have ever been before, to be honest. It fills in so well, and I love how low it is where, you know, we're tucking some tire. Like that's pretty ballerific if you ask me. Since I am using a smaller tire, well, technically it's still the same size, it's just this tire alone just runs small. It doesn't really fill up the wheel well as much, if that makes any sense. I know I'm like low-key contradicting myself, but what I mean is like the tire like poking out. Like it's really low profile, it tapers in. Even though this is still surprisingly a 255/35, it does run pretty small for this specific tire, which is the V601s. But even though it doesn't really have that meaty tire setup look, I am digging the little street style look that this car looks like. You know, a little street stance type of thing. It's not really what I'm used to with, you know, the 17-inch fat meaty tires, but it honestly pulls it off really well. And even though it doesn't have that much of a tight fitment like my 17 like track setup looks, it's all right. This will do. The specs for these TEs are 18 by 9.5 plus 40 all around. I'm running the Advent V601s and 255/35/18. For spacers, I'm running 5mm spacers up front, making it a plus 35, and then 3mm in the rear, making it a plus 37. But honestly, even though I don't have a meaty tire setup, I'm really starting to dig the low profile tire setup we got going on, and it just makes the car look a lot lower with a little bit of stance and steez added to it. Corey's looking great. Pretty good. See you guys in a bit. What is good, everyone? You guys see me wash my car a lot. Might as well show you guys how I wash the car. Let's go ahead and get started. First things first, always start with the wheels first. Hit it with this right here. Agitate the tires, the wheels, the barrels, and everything, and rinse it off. Simple as that. Never hit it when your brushes are dry. At least get these wet so that it isn't too aggressive. Now I gotta repeat that for the next 3 wheels. So right after I wash the wheels, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the car with just water, just to rinse off any excess dirt. Now after I rinse the car, I'm gonna go ahead and make my soap solution. So pretty much the product that I use as soap for the car, once the car is rinsed, I use this 3D car wash and wax. I actually just started using this and it actually works pretty well. Pretty much just add it to your, you know, your foam cannon, whatever the hell you want to call it, and you add it with water, and then you go ahead and hit the car with the soap. So pretty much how much water is in here is how much soap I usually add. So I'm just gonna kind of estimate and then add the rest with the water, maybe up to like here or so. as the car sits with the soap on it. I usually like letting it sit for maybe like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes might be pushing it, maybe like around 5 minutes. But within that time, I usually go ahead and wet up my rags to go ahead and get ready for the contact portion of the wash. Don't go ahead and go to Costco and get your typical yellow microfiber towels. Those will scratch up the paint and clear coat a lot faster than using like a plush towel. And I swear by these. These are the Rag Company plush towels. I will put the link in the description. I literally use 2 of these and I fold them into fourths. Literally just get this wet while the car has foam on it, go by section, panel by panel, and after you use each panel, you flip it over, use one side. Once you're done with that panel, flip it inside out, you got 2 fresh new sides, use it on 2 other panels. And then once those sides are used, flip it fully inside out, back into fourths, and then now you have 4 new sides to use on other panels of the car. But before you do any of that, you're gonna wanna have to rinse off this foam just so that you could lessen the chance of you scratching up the paint with any of the leftover dirt that's on the car. So rinse this off, foam it up again, and then that's when you do your contact wash. But I always start top to bottom, panel to panel, and make sure that when you wash, you go in back and forth motions. Never swirl the paint, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot easier to do something like this, but side to side, guys. That will really lessen the chances of you creating swirls in your paint and to also maintain it and make it look fresh. You're pretty much done. All you gotta do now is just dry the car and that's it. Also spray on like a detailer to like, you know, enhance your ceramic coating if you have one, just so, you know, lasts longer and the beads continue to stay a lot longer. I ran out of mine, so I'm not gonna use that. I'm literally just gonna dry it right now. And also guys, I highly recommend using a big fluffy rag because this makes it a lot easier to dry your car. Also reduces the chances of you doing swirls. But same thing, when I dry it, I literally just lay it all out and just drag it across, no pressure. This is what a ceramic coating does. Watch this. It's pretty much dry after one swipe. But yeah, guys, if you guys don't have your car ceramic coated by now, and the big 26, I don't know what you're doing, especially if your car's black. Like, dude, I wish I knew how to do this stuff, but I don't have the patience to learn how. Watch me now dry the car with our new mod. There it is. Wow! I don't have to freaking prop it up anymore. But yeah, make sure you guys wipe the surrounding edges of the inside of your hood also, because water always accumulates there, especially under here. This garnish up front likes to hold a lot of water. So once you drive off, you'll see streaks on your hood if you don't wipe this. Guys, here she is in all of her glory. She is now fully washed and cleaned. Look at that. Woo! I had to move my dad's truck back. But yeah, it's as simple as that. I wash my car at least once a week, or at least I try to. Usually I don't really go that in depth when I do wash my car because I do get lazy sometimes, you know, I am human at the end of the day. All I do after that I didn't record was just like dry up the wheels and then add some tire shine to the tires, as you guys could see. Oh shit, oh damn, oh damn. If you guys don't know, I actually prefer to wash my car like when it's nighttime or like when there's no sun out, just so that I don't, you know, get any water spots. Because if you're not washing with like really filtered water, it will leave hard stained water spots on your car if it's set out in the sun and you don't wash it fast enough. So I just like to do it when the sun is completely down or when it's sunset. But unless you do have fully clean, like filtered water where there's no minerals in it, you'll be chilling. But you know, I don't have that luxury, so we got to do it when it's dark. I do have a meet that I'm going to go to with some college friends. I believe the meet is going to be the FTF Forever X Visual Automart meet. Very excited for that. And, you know, we're going to get to mob up there with some of the college homies. But yeah, see you guys in the morning.
It's so nice.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Say hello.
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 Morning vlog.
We stopped by a coffee place to get coffee. But Samir, a good friend of ours, here just picked up this G80 M3 2025 X-Drive M3 pump. We're all gonna go for a ride in it because he needs to go get gas. So, you know, Why? Where's he going? But yeah, he just picked up this M3 comp, and we're all going in a ride for it because he needs to go get gas. So what a great excuse to get a ride in this thing.
Actually, I don't think no.
Have it angled. Oh my god.
It's angled, yeah.
This is the bougie
No,
mobile.
no, you're good. You're good. M1. All right, we're cool.
Hey, let's not get in trouble. We still have to.
For sure.
Damn, bro, this is what it feels like to be in the 1 percentile. Different tax bracket.
Nah, bro. This is what debt looks like.
Oh shit!
Gee, bro.
Holy shit, dude! The fucking plate. Oh, I'm not gonna show the plate, but the fucking plate flew on me.
Hey, we in Mexico.
We're in Mexico right now. Dude, I can't believe that's only 40 miles an hour. That's only 45 miles an hour, bro. It feels so fast. Damn, dude. I need to get my bread up.
Nah, bro. Hey, in the end of the day, I have no more bread. So, you know, like
this is where it's.
This is the bread. Yeah. I didn't think I'd ever get an all-wheel drive car because I was always like, oh, big rear-wheel drive, you know. And then I saw people spinning in G80s, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, a little dangerous.
I'm not trying to. They're the new Mustangs. These are the new Mustangs, apparently.
Wait, how much horsepower does this have? Like
The
5?
facelift has 523. Yeah.
5 is a lot, man. Oh my god. Oh! You get like that stomach drop sensation.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster. Yeah, it's like a roller coaster in here. We're gonna get gas.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you should probably get gas.
I forgot about that. I just, wait, there's probably a gas station.
There's a gas station down here.
A little rev on cam.
If you want, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Oh, wow. Sounds pretty good.
They know we can.
Damn, this shit is tough, man. Fuck.
Keep in mind, bro, has like the cleanest 86.
Okay, bro. It's still 8.6 at the end of the day. This is exactly why I want a 4-seater car, guys, because even though like the reason why I got an 8.6 is because like it's 2-wheel drive and no one has to make me drive them. I do kind of miss driving the homies around and like ripping it. So I feel like a Type R would definitely be it. But I want to keep the 8.6 for sure if I get a Type R. It's gonna be a lot more expensive, but that's why I gotta make sure the 8.6 is paid off first. What do you guys think it?
That was nice. That's fast. I want a Beamer now.
It's pretty crazy, man.
I've done pulls with full car too.
Oh, you haven't done it by yourself?
Dude, I'm
Oh,
hella
shit.
scared, bro. I'm hella scared. But like, I don't know, the adrenaline rush is crazy. I'm still kind of shaking.
You'll get used to it.
Dude, yeah, you do.
What's up, guys? We just finished up at the meet. I didn't really vlog much here because I just wanted to kick it with the homies. It's been a while since I've seen them. Really good quality cars. The first time I went to an FTF Forever X Visual Automart meet, but it was really good. That's gonna be it for today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I didn't get a lot of shots here. I just wanted to catch up with the homies. But yeah, if this is the end of the vlog, see you guys in the next one. Peace.